Viscount Tewkesbury, the Marquis of Basil-Leffel.
Like, does that not sound like Simlish to you? Movie time, movie time, movie time, movie time, movie time, movie time, movie time. Hi guys, it's movie time. So, I made a video a few weeks ago whenever this trailer came out for Enola Holmes, the new Netflix movie starring Millie Bobby Brown that everyone is currently obsessed with. And I watched this a couple weeks ago with my parents, like a few days after it came out, but you guys said you still wanted a commentary video on it because I said that I have a lot to say about it. It was better than I thought it would be, but I have notes. So we're gonna watch it together today. How fun. I've got some iced tea. I've got Tiny Penny. I'm ready. I'm ready to Sherlock it up. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. Does that sound like the opener of Belle from Beauty and the Beast? Okay, so like there's so much fucking narration in this movie, and I'm just warning you now that I'm gonna be complaining about it consistently because there's so much of it and it's so unnecessary and I hate narration. So
we did different things.
Oh, she's not like other girls. And I must say that this movie reminds me of like the kind of stuff that like Disney Channel was releasing in like the early 2000s where it's like girls can do boy things like science, and it's like, okay. Yeah, so I am warning you now, like if this is like your favorite movie ever, you're probably not gonna like me very much today, but I feel like much of my criticism is valid, and it's not a bad movie. I don't know, we'll see. Look, knowing the end of this movie makes this even more frustrating, and I don't know how to feel about that. Also, wait, hold on, did she abandon her on her birthday? And we're supposed to like her mom? Her mom isn't the villain of this story? Listen, oh my god, I just realized that I have tea. Tea. Stop looking at me. This isn't Dora the Explorer. And like, listen, I understand that I'm too old for this movie, right? This is for children. Totally valid. However, children aren't dumb, and I always use a series of unfortunate events as like my example of like excellent children's entertainment, because it's like, stop looking at me. You know? Legend. Look at him.
What carriage would you be wanting? Because I have a few in mind.
The carriage I paid for.
Because here's my thing, right? Here, if I were working on this movie, here would be, considering, you know, it's 2020, here's how I would have approached this. Because like I said, we've done the I'm not like other girls, I do boyish things, I like sports, I like education, whatever. We've seen it over and over again. And I think it would have been better and more and different to actually have her like both things, like be into boyish things like sports and science and whatever, but also have a girly side where she's, you know, like a sucker for romance and she likes dresses. And I think that that would have created a more neutral feminist message, because like as we see going along with this, they're trying to do like a whole like feminist sort of theme with this, and I think that it's like by making her like, I'm not like other girls, and in a way that makes it seem like, oh well, she's better than other girls for liking girly things, that just contradicts the feminist message. And I would have liked it a lot better for them to have made her, instead of going with this like stereotypical, I don't do my hair, I don't like dresses, I want to go play sports, you know, instead of she had been like into, you know, not been against marriage and been into pretty things. And I think that that would have, because, you know, it's like we're dealing with a time period where it's like gender roles were very, and that's not so much the thing anymore in 2020, which is why this movie also sort of feels out of place, because it's like we've moved past this kind of mindset in the past decade or so. But yeah, I don't know, we'll expand on that as we go along today. Okay, but this duo, they're the best part of this movie. Like, I will not argue with you. Like, their scenes, I'm like in it. We love Sherlock Holmes.
You're getting the point.
See, like, this kind of narration that she was just doing, I feel like this sort of works in, like, a Sid Novak, I'm not okay with this sense, because it's like we're seeing, like, her inner monologue and, like, her commentary, as opposed to, like, her speaking directly to an audience and telling a story. Because I think, like, once a character is aware that they're in a story, that sort of changes the entire dynamic, and you have to approach things differently, and they didn't really do that well. Like, if she is aware that she is speaking to an audience and is a part of a story, like, that needs to be more clear throughout everything else, along with the narration. You know, does that make any sense? I don't know. Okay, but, like, Henry Cavill. That's it. That's all I have to say. Just send tweet. See, like, this is, like, we've seen this so many times. Like, oh, you don't want to wear the dresses. You're so cool. You know, like, I just feel like with the message that they're trying to do, like, this is so outdated, and, like, they're trying to be, like, forward-thinking, you know? Like, is that, like, that's the kind of vibe that I get. This overall just feels like a movie from the early 2000s. Like, this does not feel like the kind of movie that would come out in 2020. And I feel like I would have liked it more had it been, like, an early 2000s movie that I had perhaps seen in the early 2000s. I must say, though, I am really proud of, like, her and her sister for producing this. Like, that's huge. Like, to be a producer at 16. What's that like? That was smooth as fuck. Like, did they choreograph that? How many times did they have to film that?
She's not coming back.
You are correct. Listen, I need to explain myself, because, like, I hate narration, right? And I talked about this a lot in my monthly recap where I talked about Devil all the time and this movie. Narration is amateur film writing, right? Because it's basically just telling you and not showing. So it's like the whole point of film and, like, visual mediums is to show, don't tell. That's, like, the main mantra that anyone in the film industry will tell you. Is, like, you gotta show the audience what's happening, not tell them what's happening. And narration is just a clear, like, oh, I don't really know how to show this, so I'm gonna tell it. And in some situations like this, it's like the narration does serve a purpose, where it's like the character is purposely breaking the fourth wall, like Deadpool or Harley Quinn, who both do that in their comics and in their respective movies. But that works because they're aware that they're comic book characters, and that's the whole deal. Same thing with a series of unfortunate events in Lemony Snicket. Like, Lemony Snicket is aware that he is on a TV show and he is telling you the story of the Baudelaire orphans. Like, it has to be self-aware, and it has to be for a purpose. Whereas they never do that in this. They never actually take the time to give the narration purpose other than being a part of Enola's personality in a way, but it's like it doesn't work because it's not consistent. And we are never aware of why the narration is there, other than for amateur filmmaker reasons, which is to tell you things that they don't want to put in the effort to show you, you know? And it's like my only guess would be in a sort of choose-your-own-adventure style explanation, where it's like the audience is, you know, supposed to be solving the mystery with Enola, which is fine. Except going back to the fact that it's like, why is she communicating with the audience? Is she aware that she is communicating with an audience? Or is it just sort of like an objective thing for the audience? Which isn't really correct. Like, if you're going to do this, you have to make it make sense on both mediums, which is the fictional realm as well as the reality realm, and have it transfer succinctly, which things like A Series of Unfortunate Events and Deadpool do really well. Basically what I'm trying to say, and like to expand on this, is that the narrator has to be telling the story to somebody. Like, they can't just be talking for no reason. So it's like a lot of times where narration is used, like a very recent example of such, that a thing I just watched, which was The Haunting of Bly Manor, that has narration, and it's because the character that is presented to you at the beginning of the series is telling a story to this rehearsal dinner party. So, like, she is physically talking to the dinner party, telling them this story. That narration has purpose. I feel like in recent examples of mine, such as Devil All the Time and Enola Holmes, there is no reason for the narration to be there other than to communicate directly with the audience. But like I said, that does not cross over to the fictional realm, because there is no reason for this fictional character to be talking to this degree. That's the way it has to be done, because it's like when you have something like this, it just proves that it's like
they don't really know the purpose of narration, and therefore the narration can't be effective.
Yo, but this seems so extra. Like, I'm like, do y'all remember in Series of Unfortunate Events in Vile Village? The entire thing is like the Quagmires like sending them the couplets that are like clues to where they are, and it's like, why the fuck couldn't you have just been like Fountain from the start? Like, it makes no sense. And like, that's the kind of energy that this gives me. Like, why couldn't she have just like told her where the fuck she was? The answer is because then we wouldn't have a movie, but that's stupid. This movie makes no sense. Like, why did she want her to find her, considering what happened? I don't fucking know, man. I couldn't tell you. Like, can we normalize trains again? Cars who? I want to go on a train. Not during a pandemic, but like, later on. Twinklesberry! That wig though. Harry Styles, look at that!
I'm Viscount Tewkesbury, the Marquis of Basil-Leffel.
Like, does that not sound like Simlish to you? Like, I'm sorry, rewind. What the fuck did you just say?
I'm Viscount Tewkesbury, the Marquis of Basil-Leffel.
Viscount Tewkesbury, the Marquis of Basil-Leffel. What in the Sims kind of name is that? Like, they really picked the most, like, random ass, hard to understand name. I'm gonna keep calling him Twinklesberry because that's funnier.
You're right. Get out of the carriage then.
Look, she got him there.
Viscount Tewkesbury, Marquis of Basil-Leffel.
How did she learn his name that fast? Like, I watched this whole ass movie and didn't know what his name was.
Same step.
Comparing your love interest to your uncle, check. Killing children, check. Same. This is honestly a stupid fucking idea. Like, okay, but like Timothy Chalamet looking ass, like he's gonna be the next big thing. He's joining the crew of sickly Victorian orphans, you know. I love that he has like a perfect boy band haircut, and like, what fucking year is this? Like, I'm packing up One Direction. Oh my god, I had to wear a corset when I was in Into the Woods. Not fun. Not fun. Like, I would say, like, a really good example of, like, using this sort of trope of, like, not like other girls, but have it actually be, like, an effective feminist narrative would be Little Women. Like, for something in this time period, like, Little Women did this really well, where it's, like, the sisters, they like putting on plays, and they dressed up as boys, and they like to run around outside and whatever, but then it's, like, they also, like, had their feminine side of things, and so it's like that was like an actual good feminist narrative, because it's like when you're approaching like gender roles in this sense, it's like it's not feminism if there isn't an equal balance of the two of them. And so like basically just I'm annoyed that the overall message of this movie isn't effective is basically what I'm trying to say. She looks so good though, like costume designers, y'all went off. It's the CGI rat for me. Like, this is so extra. Like, what in the lemony snicket is this? Yo, do y'all play Pocket Camp? Add me on Pocket Camp. Someone sent me one of the trick-or-treat gifts. I want one so bad. How convenient that all of this evidence was right before. But see, this is okay, because at least they're showing us what is happening, as opposed to her telling us, you know? Oh, I hate it here. Bye. Penny wants to kick the bitch. Penny wants to go eat as well. Fireworks! Bro, there's still an hour left of this movie. This movie's so long.
I did not ask for Viscount Tewkesbury, Marquis of Basil-Leffel in my life. I did not want the... You hear me? The truth is, I did not ask for Viscount Tewkesbury, Marquis of Basil-Leffel in my life.
It literally sounds like Simlish. I can't. That is not a real name.
I did not want the Viscount Tewkesbury, Marquis of Basil-Leffel in my life. So why do I feel responsibility for the Viscount Tewkesbury, Marquis of Basil-Leffel? Because...
Like, are we supposed to take that name seriously? Oh my lord. Yo, this outfit, though, is everything. Okay, but why is his name literally Discount Twinklesberry? I'm so sorry. If he's your fave and you feel disrespected by the fact that I don't know what the fuck his name is, I'm sorry. She said, bitch, bye.
I work for Sherlock Holmes.
They said Benedict Cumberbatch?
I...
Robert Downey Jr.? Which one we talking about? Sherlock v. Sherlock and
worse is Euphoria.
Euphoria?
Poor
Okay, but like, I always wanted a treehouse when I was a kid, and I never had a treehouse. And I'm still sad about it to this day.
Will you tickle me Viscount Tewkesbury? Magnificent.
I'm sorry, yeah. Oh my god, this fit. It's my absolute fave. Like, are you kidding? The pink dress, the curls, she's killing it. They are kind of cute though, like, they're kind of cute though.
Viscount Irritation, Marquess of Bothersome Shit, I'll murder you myself.
She dragged the fuck out of him. Oh hey, Haunting of Bly Manor, who? Okay, but I don't understand why they didn't both leave. Like, this makes no sense, right? And here we have the 5th installment of Millie Bobby Brown crying her way through her career. She's a professional crier, what can we say? The talent.
I will do as you are told.
The talent. This scene slaps, I won't lie. Like, pack it up, McGonagall, alright. This is too much. This is too much.
I don't understand.
I think it's fine.
What will you do to be attacked?
Yo, this whole sequence kind of slaps though, not gonna lie. His family's fucking crazy though. Like, his aunt and uncle are really out here like, yeah, let's murder the child so we can get the estate. Alright. You know, last somersault, she said, yee. Come on, Tinkerbell. No. No. Not. This isn't Star Wars. But you named her alone. Ma'am. She says, eat. That's a child, man. That's a child. You just shot a child. You murdered a child. I can't believe it either, Penny. Tinkerbell! She said, I'm a deck that old. There's still 20 minutes left in this movie. I wanna be here anymore. Yo, it's the CGI seagulls for me. This fit is pretty good too. Like, she looks fab. I love the long hair. I love it so much. It's the erotic eye contact for me. Like, they literally didn't even let them kiss. Like, what's up with that? Goddamn. And okay, like, here's the thing, right? Like, why does she end up alone? Wouldn't it have made more sense for the narrative and, like, her namesake if she, like, proved to herself that she didn't need to be alone and ended up surrounded by people who love her? Like, Tinkerbell and her brothers and, you know, this movie makes no sense. Not the single tear. Anything but the single tear. Jump scare warning. Toadstool. That's almost better than Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell, Toadstool, discount, Twinkleberry. Yep. No. No. I got glitter on Penny from my eyeshadow. Oh no. Fuel sparkle forever now. She said Newsies. It's a fun carrying the out there. Look at me, I'm the king of New York. It's your shitty mum. Come to explain absolutely nothing. No, you're not. You're honestly not. Like, that's the thing. Like, I literally can't with this movie. You abandon your 16-year-old child to live on her own. Yo, but her wig is so good. Like, whoever did the wig styling for this movie, like, it looks really good. I hate the ending of this movie. Like, I'm done. I want to go to bed. That's enough. Bye. I don't want to be here anymore. Alright, so that was Enola Holmes. What do y'all think of Enola Holmes? Let's chat, because like I said, I like the movie. The movie is fine. I definitely liked it more than I thought I would the first time I watched it. But it just doesn't make any sense. So that's that. Do y'all think there'll be a second one? I think there'll be a second one. It was a whole book series. So I don't know. It is nice to see Millie doing something else that's not Stranger Things. Comment, like, and subscribe. Press the notification bell because I don't have an uploading schedule. I'm also planning on making a second channel at 5K. We're really, really close. Thank you. Where I'm going to make sort of just content that I feel like I can't post on this channel, sort of more broad movie and TV stuff that I feel like people on this channel aren't always interested in. Thank you if you help me get there. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at edward.spaghedward. Follow the pennies at the pennygram. We're going on a trip this week, so there's going to be some fun new content. He has glitter on his face. There's going to be some fun new content on there. Links in the description for ways you can help with Black Lives Matter, as well as links to my website where I write movie and TV reviews and my merch and all that stuff. This has been a really great dinner. Thanks for coming over.